Hello there. I apologize if I scared any of you by starting off looking my best here, but we're gonna improve things here. But I think it's important to do these uncut videos and just give you the real raw content. This is uncut, except I do have to stop and go do my hair because I'm filming a hair video. But I thought, well, I'll tell you what I thought as I start by prepping my eyelids. I'm using the Hourglass concealer, Vanish concealer in this little mini size. Let's throw it around. I decided that since Christmas is right around the corner as I am filming this, and probably as you're watching it, who knows if you're going to get to watch this before Christmas, or maybe you're taking a Christmas Day break. But I just think that sometimes we look at red lipstick on other people and we wish that we could wear it ourselves, or we say, that would never look good on me. So I just thought it would be fun to do an uncut video and kind of take out some of the fear of wearing a red lipstick and show you why maybe it hasn't looked good on you in the past, or why you felt like you can't wear red or any bright color. So don't limit yourself to just bright red, but think of bright fuchsia or a more bold lip. All of those color families will work. You can apply today's rules, or I should say tips and techniques, to any of those. I'm going to go in next with a little eyeshadow primer. This is the Ulta Matte Veil eyeshadow primer. This is my second tube of this, and I am gonna need another one. I can't remember if I have a backup, but I better get one soon. I love this. And I do this 3-step eye priming process because I do have really oily eyelids. And I do it when I want to cancel out all of the veins and discoloration I have on my lids, which is not every day. So if you are a one-step girl and you have oily lids, just go in with this eyeshadow primer. The NARS one is also good, but this one is a great price point. The concealer, I just have found that the Hourglass one works the best for me because it's a little drying and therefore it's not good under my eyes, but it is good as a lid concealer. So as I was getting ready for this video, I pulled out several new lippies and then a few old ones that I've had in my collection. Some of you might already know what my longtime favorite red lipstick has been, but we're going to try a new one today. And part of that is I have a new launch from Tilt. Tilt, you know, I love their mascara. I've recently shown their lip liners. Now they have lipsticks, and I've not even opened the packages. They sent over the sweetest PR package with new color of these clips, which, by the way, I love these. They're nice and soft and fuzzy, so they don't like pull and tug your hair. And look at this bag. I believe this is still available on their website. It is a really nice, sturdy, it's a makeup bag, but it has all these really strong magnets. So you can open it up, you can put in all of your lipstick, or you could even carry this as a clutch purse. So nice. And inside were these 4 shades of lipstick. So while we're waiting for that primer to finish drying, let's open up this red color. And I've shown this before, but the packaging on Tilt, all Tilt products are to be easy to use for your hands. So the owner, the founder of the company, she has psoriatic arthritis. And so she wanted to make products that would be easy to use if you have dexterity hand issues. So you just pull this little tab. You don't have to pull out scissors and pry open the box. And here is, ooh, I haven't even looked at these. Look at the beautiful color. I love this color. I think this was a great choice of color. Okay. And this is the same packaging as they did for their kind of tinted lip balms. Let's just see. Oh, they shaped it. Okay. So their tinted lip balms, the shape of it was round, but I do love that they put a lipstick shape on there and it's imprinted with Tilt on the front. Okay, let's read. Let me tell you about this formula. It has colloidal oatmeal, ceramides, and hyaluronic acid to hydrate and calm. Rich color flexes with you all day. Never stiff or drying, always luxe and creamy with a satin smooth finish. Okay, So you're thinking, Shirley, we're just barely getting started. Why are you pulling out the lipstick? I'm gonna tell you. If you're doing a bright or a bold lip, the easiest thing to do, especially if you're new at this, is the very first makeup thing you want to put on your face is actually your lipstick. So before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of priming mist, hydrating mist. It's been a while since I did my skincare. I'm gonna use the RMS one today. This is the Radiance Lock Setting Mist. And I don't want that on my lids of my eyes. That's why I covered them. But I just want a little extra hydration. And then the very important step to do before you start with your red lip is you want to prep your lips properly. Make sure you exfoliate all the dead skin. And then I went in with the Ravi Beauty Lip Renewal, something really hydrating. So now we're gonna wipe that off. And before we do anything else, we're going to apply our lipstick. 2 reasons. Number 1 is this is going to help you dial back what you do on your eyes, because if you do your eyes, sometimes you don't think it's too dramatic, but then you put on your red lip and holy cow, you're like, oh my goodness, what's happening? So I'm going to show you a way to actually keep a red lip or make a red lip more daytime appropriate if you want it to be, or you can step it up for night. Okay, I feel like I have a piece of fuzz on my lips. All right, let's do it. So I've not tried this formula or the color. Let's see. Ooh, very smooth glide. Look at how bright that is. Oh my word. It's so pretty. Okay, we're not doing a perfect application. I will always recommend using a lip liner with red, but I want to put this on because you see how that instantly, number 1, pulls all the redness forward on my skin. So you want to do the red lip first, A, to help you not go too crazy on your eyes, and B, to help you see all the redness that you need to conceal. A red lip will bring out any redness that you have. So that's why I personally like to go with a little fuller coverage, or you can go sheer coverage. Just make sure you go in with enough concealer to conceal the redness. So I purposely did not do a tinted sunscreen because I wanted you to see how, once I put that on, it's like, you know, your eyes are going all over and you're just seeing red. Okay, now that we have that on, we're gonna go back to the eyes. This is gonna be kind of a funny get ready with me. I know some of you really enjoy these uncut get ready with me's. If you're new here, I've done lots of these. Yes, they're long. You can always fast forward, but I like to just chat through a few details of the process of makeup, also talk a little bit more about the actual products I'm using, and I also like to give you a few updates on life. So I'm starting off with my True Beauty palette, shocker of all. I am preparing to do my yearly favorites, and so I'm pulling out a lot of my yearly favorites. I know that's probably a huge spoiler that this is going to be in there, but it is. So this is just my go-to palette for anything really, but especially something neutral. And I wanted to bring in a cooler tone today, which has this, it has this dark charcoal color. So that is really important to my look for today. All right, let me find my brushes. I did do a little bit of some brush cleaning recently, but not nearly enough. So I'm kind of pulling out brushes. Some of these might have a little bit of residual product on them, but that's okay. You'll forgive me. Okay, I'm gonna go in now into the crease of my eye with just a little bit of Faithful. And again, because we have that red already on the lips, that's showing me that I don't wanna go in the crease of my eye with this color. I could do this if I were doing more of a berry toned red. Something more along the lines, well, like this color, which I actually want to also try on for you. This is I'm So Bordeaux. So if you were doing something like this, you see, we could do this more kind of pinky color through the crease, and that would work. But because we've got this really warm red, which by the way, I am going to tone it just a little bit, so don't be afraid. Don't check out of this video going, I know where this is going, and it's nowhere good. We're gonna make it look look good. So, but I wanted to let you just kind of see the process and see how we can make this red actually look like it fits with my skin tone and everything. So I'm using the Details by Tati brush. What number is this? The ES4. And I did purchase the whole essential set of hers. And in the video where I tried them all, I did tell you I would wait until you can buy the brushes individually, because I do feel like there are a couple in there that are unique, that are worthwhile. And this is a really good brush. So I've continued to enjoy this. So I'm just building up a little bit slowly. There we go. All right. On the lid, I've been debating if I'm gonna do shimmer. I'm just gonna do matte first and then top it with a little hint of shimmer, and that will keep it a little more approachable and a little more daytime. I'll not say daytime because I know some of you go, what? That is way more makeup than I would even wear to, you know, a glam night out. So I'll just say it will make it a little more approachable. All right, so, and again, same philosophy with the face you do with the eyes. That's why I did concealer. You want to make sure that you don't have competing colors going on. We really want everything to look smoothed out and concealed. So even by doing that step, do you see how that just made things look a little more seamless? I know it's hard to get past off the red here. We'll get there. All right. And then I really debated, I was gonna pull in a green eyeliner and really make this Christmassy, but I've done a video like that before. I'll link it up here for you. Today, I wanna just keep this real approachable. So I'm gonna use just this Urban Decay mushroom eyeliner. And again, I'm kind of cooling things off a little bit. You could go down here with a brown bronzy shade, but I kind of want to neutralize the eye just a little bit. And I'm actually going to pull in a gray mascara today, I think. We'll see. We'll see how it looks, but I wanted to just pull in, I love this shade of mushroom because it's a warm gray. And I'm going to use this just to give me a little guide right here on the edge of the eye. And then we're just going to use eyeshadow today. We're not going to use a separate dark liner, although I was considering. I did buy 2 of the Ravi Beauty eyeliners, and these are really amazing, great stay power. But I think I want to keep this a little simpler for you. Maybe a few less products, right? Okay, I am going to use, though, the new Ravi Beauty brush. Isn't this so cool? It's angled, but it's rounded here at the end, and it has just a little bit of fluffiness. Gotta wipe off the residual. And so this is a really nice, soft, smudgy brush. So now I'm gonna go in with the gray. And I am doing my eyes first before foundation, just so that I can make sure that I clean up any eyeshadow drop down. You can do your eyes or your foundation first, but just make sure you're real careful with your eyeshadow, because you don't want to put concealer over the top of little flakes of gray eyeshadow. That is not going to be a great look. All right, and then here, I'll just lightly, and I also like to do this first because then I can clean up and kind of sharpen that little edge up if I wish. So now let's just do a little more here. And then I'm really gonna press this into the roots of my lashes here, just to make them a little thicker looking. If you are somebody who does waterline lining or upper rim lining, you can do that, but I do have a video that maybe you want to watch. I stopped doing that after my eye doctor said no. Okay, so I think we're pretty well there. Let's go ahead And right now it's looking a little like we're going down. Don't worry, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. And I like to do this step and then just see if we need to deepen up the outer corner of the shadow at all. And I don't think we're gonna do much. We're gonna try to keep it pretty light, but we'll just finish this liner over here. So I'm curious, for those of you, depending on when you're watching this, you may have already celebrated Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you're celebrating. Do you get dressed up for Christmas? Do you stay in pajamas all day? What is your Christmas like? Is it a big party? You have lots of friends and family, get all decked out, take lots of photos, or is it a day that's kind of low-key? I am the second, the latter, low-key day. I don't like to stay in my PJs all day. By the way, I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is loving, right? Yes. I'm always like, wait, is this loving or gentle? This is loving. I love to take my time getting going on Christmas Day. I usually open gifts before I put my makeup on because, oh, Gracie might be thinking about barking. Okay, Gracie. We're working on the barking thing. My best friend and I always love to give each other at least something makeup related. So I always wait till I open her gift. And then usually I get to have a little fun playing with makeup on Christmas Day. So generally when I'm open up gifts, you know, it's just my hubby and I. So we're home. We have marshmallow puffs, a favorite. If you're not into the work of cinnamon rolls, you got to try those. All right, I'm going to take the Rougher 01, and all I'm going to do is put a little bit of Faithful, and this is Patient, by the way. And I'm just going to just softly blend, and I am going past that outer corner. Like I said, we're going to sharpen that up. We're going to make the angle that we want, but sometimes it's easier to go past the outer corner, and then we clean up, and you don't have to be so precise. So try and keep this easy for you. So yes, it's just my hubby and I, and Gracie, of course. And so generally our tradition for many, many, many Christmases, every once in a while, I try a cinnamon roll hack or something, you know, with Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. And I always go back to marshmallow puffs. It's a crescent roll with a marshmallow that has been dipped in butter and cinnamon and sugar rolled up inside of the crescent roll, and you bake it. That's it. And then you can make your own little bit of frosting. I do recommend a little glaze, a little powdered sugar, milk, and vanilla. Just put that on the top as it's cooling. Oh my word, it's so good. That marshmallow just puffs up inside and starts oozing out. I'm trying to make you hungry. And then for Christmas lunch, late lunch is usually what we end up doing. I like to do chili and cornbread or soup or something. This year, we're supposed to have rain, lots and lots of rain and cold weather, finally. I'm not gonna tell you it's supposed to be 85 today, but we are supposed to have rain and cold, so I'm thinking chili. All right, I'm gonna go back on the lid with a little more of this and just brighten this up a little bit here. Okay, let's clean up. And then we're going to get to the face. And these uncut videos, as I told you at the beginning, they do sometimes get long just because it's kind of like I have friends here and we're just chatting away as we're doing makeup. But also, you know, I'm telling you new makeup techniques and insights, right? So of course it's going to take a little longer. All right, let's clean this up here. And then as I and I'm just using almond oil. I like the Now Solutions brand, and I will try to remember to link that below. I always forget, but yes, I have used almond oil to do this for many, many, many years. And I just think it is the easiest, and it provides a little extra hydration before we go in with concealer. Okay, so you can see now with our eyes done, it's still looking a little crazy, right? And that's because we need some coverage. All right, I'm gonna do today the underpainting method. I did a whole video on this, and let me just tell you, since then, I have become such a huge fan. Whenever I need my makeup to last all day, like I do today, this is the method I do. It's also the one I do whether I'm going to be filming or seeing people in person. It looks so natural, does not feel heavy. It's just amazing. So I'm going in. Makeup Forever has several of these palettes. I actually just purchased a new one, but the one that I'm going to start off with is the all-in-one face palette. So this has some color correctors. It has obviously my perfect light shade, and then some warm bronzers and blushes. So I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna do a little color correction right here. I've got some serious dark circles. So I am coming off of my week of insanity. Actually, it was about a week and a half between all of the baking. Thank you all so much for your sweet comments on those videos. If you're looking for some new recipes to try, I will link the whole playlist at the end, or maybe I'll link it up here, of my Christmas week. So I have a couple days of baking and holiday decor, all of that. So next I'm going to go in with this shade, this light shade, and we're going to make things look even crazier. This is the F26 Domed Concealer. It's just my favorite. And I will mix a little bit of that one. All right, so we're just going to ignore what's happening on my face. I'll finish telling you my story. So I had the baking, and then I had to get everything shipped out, delivered, got all that done. And then I played for the choir concert as a small little choral group here in the community where I live. We had a concert, and that was last weekend as I'm filming this. So it'll probably be 2 Saturdays ago as you're watching. And so it was kind of like I had that, and then I played for just background music for a candlelight vigil thing for people who have lost children. And after that, I got to Monday, and I could not, like, my brain, I really needed to film, and my brain I was out of gas. So I really was intending to film this video much earlier, but today is the first day that I turned on the camera to actually film again. And that is just because I was a little burnt out. I'm still not recovered fully, but you know. All right. Now, okay, we've got a lot of the redness concealed. I mean, don't worry, we're going to blend this. I'm going to go in now with this new Makeup Forever palette. They had a sale. What is this? Face Sculpting palette. One of the main reasons I got this is we have another backup of this light shade, but it has a cooler tone of sculpting shade. So I'm just going to dip in that, and I'm using the Alter Ego 112 brush. These are great. These have been great brushes. They're lightweight for sure, and I have washed them maybe twice. So I'm not sure, you know, time will tell how long lasting they are, but they are, if you're wanting to try some different shapes of brushes at a very affordable price, definitely try these. Okay, I'm just going to start with a little, so you can see how cool toned, cool, not like hip cool tone. All right, and I probably should use a little more precise brush for this, but we're just going to go with it. And I am going to deepen this up with one of the warmer shades, because you can see, if you go too cool, you can start looking a little unwell, and we don't want that. Okay, and I'm just using this just to give me a little more sculpting. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to, I'm sure one of the shades in the other palette will work, but let's just use what we've already started. So I'm going to use this shade for a little added warmth there, just a little. And I am bringing this up a little higher, and I'll break some of the rules, but I like to do this because it's in the spot where I would do more bronzing. So I know, stick with me here. This looks crazy. And I have been testing a couple of drugstore alternatives. So stay tuned. I am planning a drugstore video with lots of new releases from the drugstore. I'm still waiting for a couple of them to come to me. I just ordered a couple more items. Revlon has a bunch of stuff now, Maybelline. I feel like, well, I don't know. I won't share any of my thoughts until that video, but yes, just know we've got drugstore options coming. I can tell you that the Makeup Forever product, there's a definite difference in quality and coverage and all of that, but I'll give you some alternatives. All right, foundation. This is my favorite. Another spoiler alert, as we're going into favorites videos that will be coming up. You're gonna see this one up here. I use 2 shades, so I use 220 and 118, and this is the next key to underpainting. You need 2 shades of foundation. So I'm going to use, what is this? The BK Beauty 116, and I'm going into the light shade, and I am just tapping this on. Now, it's a very light, little amount. I have 1 pump of each on my palette here, and I usually don't use all of it. But you just want to stipple it on, and at first you're still going to be doubtful that this is working, but just stick with the process and you will be amazed. Now, I've gotten better at this process, so I actually can do this when I'm in a super big hurry. All right, and now I'm gonna go in with the darker shade. I guess I don't have to hold that up and risk dropping oil on my sweater. So today, I mentioned I need to have my makeup last a long time, and that is because I am filming a hair tutorial, which should already be up. So if you've not seen that, I'll link it at the end of the video and in the description box, along with all of these products. But I'm filming that video, and I decided to change things up this year. Instead of doing kind of a just sit there and show you the hair and the skincare products and all that in one video, I'm doing a separate video for hair products, and I'm doing it while I style my hair, which I have a fresh cut as of a week ago. So make sure you check that video out, but I have that to film. And then we are going, my husband and I and some friends from church, we are going for our annual Christmas light tour. We just hop in the car and drive around and go look at Christmas lights. And, you know, if my husband were completely honest, he's doing this just for me. I love Christmas lights. I love to go see Christmas displays. I also like fireworks. And my husband's like, you've seen one, you've seen them all. But once a year for the last several years, this couple from church kind of makes Guy, you know, get in the car and drive us around. And there's some really fun places to see. I'm always in awe of how much effort and work these people put in for like maybe a month out of the year. It's crazy. All right, let's see. We've got that all blended in. And now what's really important, you gotta let it sit on your face and dry down. So right now I'm seeing lots of texture on my skin, and it looks really and feels really sticky, but you need to let it just soak into your skin a little bit. And in the meantime, let's see, I will go back and add just a touch more of the bronzer shade. Where did my brush go for that? This one. I'm going to add just a hint more color. And then I am going to add a little bit of some blush. So this is also the part where it's really important to have your red lip on. If you have not put it on yet, definitely put it on before you add any blush, because otherwise you're gonna go a little ham with your blush and it will turn scary really quickly. All right, I have 2 blushes here that I pulled out. One from Rhode. This is new to me. I purchased it during the Sephora sale. And, ooh, boy, that is tiny. Tan line. Like, what is that saying? So let me show you. So that is kind of a warm rose color. I personally like to do something a little more neutral in tone. You can do a bright pink and maybe just cool off your red a little bit. Oh, and then this one from Winky Lux. I am loving this. They sent me several products, and this one, oh my goodness, what is this color? It is, oh, Queen for the day, right? So do you see? It's almost like we took our lipstick and put that on your cheeks. That is another tip you can do. If you really want to coordinate, you can use your lipstick as your cheek color. I am going to, I think I'm going to do the Winky Lux today. I am just going to do a dot, and you'll notice I have not yet put my concealer on because in case we get a little crazy with our blush and our contour, we can go back and kind of mute it out. But do you see? These are just so impressive to me. I have the contour as well, so I might put those into the drugstore video coming up, but wow, right? So much color, but yet it's not scary like the Rare Beauty blushes. Those always, oh my goodness, those get out of control so fast on me. And this one is just, oh, I love it. I'm gonna take a little off the back of my hand. Okay, so we added a little red back in, but we made sure to keep all of the other areas. So we just put it where it belongs, right? That's why we did all the work of concealing and everything. Now, concealer, I totally forgot to pull one out. Let's pull out the Winky Lux one. This has been another favorite of mine recently, and it is so hydrating and thin, but I feel like it gives me really good coverage. So we're gonna just tap that in, and I'll probably pull in a brush here in a moment. So I would love to know if any of you are Christmas light fanatics like I am. And you know, even though I am a Christmas light fanatic, we don't put any Christmas lights outside. My husband did it, I think, our first year of marriage. You know, husbands trying to appease their wife, but I learned rather quickly that my husband is just really afraid of, you know, fires and all of that, and he just does not trust outside lights. So he did not at all like that adventure, and after that we've never done it since. So one of these days I might convince him to help me put up a few lights. But all right, now I'm going to add setting spray. Now, yes, that seems crazy, and I do have a video coming up all about this. I'm gonna clean out my brows. This is the Hard Candy Look on Lock setting spray. I'm not a setting spray girl, and do you see? It's almost gone. So I'm gonna let that sink in, and while we do, I'm going to add a little bit of some powder just through my brows. Now, I see that, sorry for that loud noise. Okay, so for powder in the brows, I like to use kind of a hardcore setting powder. I'm just gonna go in with the Polite Society, and I'm going to add just a tiny bit of this. I just realized I did not set my concealer and eyeshadow primer. Oh well. You can do that with a setting powder if you wish, but I didn't have any issues blending the eyeshadow, so we're good. Okay, now on the rest of my face, I am going to go in with the Makeup Forever setting powder, but not quite yet. We're gonna let all of that setting spray sink in while we go to brows. And I have a fresh Revee Beauty Everyday Brow Pencil, and I think this one's the light brown. I've been going back and forth between the light brown and the taupe. I feel like I can get away with either one. So my hair just, I'm not quite as bright blonde, even though I got all those foils added in about 5 weeks ago. My stylist did a lot more baby lights, and so when that happens, it's a much softer blonde. So I feel like the light brown sometimes is a better shade for me if I have more darkness in my hair. But I really love this brow pencil, and my brows need to be dyed Oh my goodness. One of those things have not had time to do. I just finally freshened up my nails last night. I did the fun Dashing Diva nail strips, and I put on, these are the ones that have little reindeer, and it has some lights, like Christmas lights, but they have pink and red, and I just love them. Every year I try and make sure I have a stash of them, or at least one set, I should say, on hand. I think it's called Light Show. I'll link it down below, but it's one of my favorites. And then it has just these pink, and then kind of like a silvery glitter for the other nails. Isn't that fun? So fun. So I finally did that, and I painted my toenails last night. Finally. It's been since the piano concert. Just giving the real honest truth here. So I am just now catching up on a little bit of some self-care, but sleep is the next thing that is priority on the list, and going to the gym. I went back to the gym this week for the first time in 3 weeks. Oh my word. I do walk, Gracie, every day, but my arm workout, oh my goodness, it was so hard. And I was so sore. Oh goodness, but you know, it was a good one. I always feel so much better when I leave the gym, even though it takes a lot to motivate me to go, but I always feel so much better. And then the next day when that soreness kicks in, it's like, oh yes, okay, we're building muscle again. So if you need some motivation going into January, I do have my whole arm workout video. I am planning a few kind of maybe, you know, motivating videos for January, but I would be curious to know if you have requests for January. What kinds of videos do you like? Last year I started off with a, you know, kind of like cleaning your silver jewelry video, and at first that video just bombed. It was so bad. And then all of a sudden it finally took off. So it was kind of funny. Apparently nobody wanted to clean in January. So will you be cleaning? Will you be cleaning out? Will you be reorganizing? What does your January look like? I feel like there needs to be some major organization and cleaning out done here. I have some some pull-out shelves that I've seen people put in their cupboards, and they have been sitting in the corner waiting to be put in since, well, I don't even want to admit it, since before my dad came. I think it was like a week before he came. They've been sitting there. So those are going to get put in and installed. I've just been trying to decide whether I need them more in the kitchen or in my hall closet area where I have kind of all of the toiletries and stuff. And I think it needs to be in the linen closet area. Okay, we've got the brows done finally. Let's add a little Kosas brow gel. And sometimes I do this before I powder. I know some people say, don't do brow gel before powder, but I just always end up doing it whenever I grab it. And I just am careful with my powder that I don't get too much powder over my brows. That's why I like to powder my brows before, to create kind of soak up any oils that are there, and then also just give me a little space so I don't have to get the powder too close to my brows. All right, brows are pretty much done, I think. They might need a little trim. So what's funny is when my brows need to be dyed, I can't tell how long they are. All of a sudden I put brow gel on and I'm like, Groucho Marx, here we come. Okay, I'm going to now powder my skin because you can see I still have a lot of glow and a little texture. So let's take that down. I'm going to use the Makeup Forever. This is the Micro HD Ultra Finishing Powder. And I've talked about this before. If you're using a powder like this that is deemed a finishing powder and it's translucent, you really want to try to have all of your color done on your face because you don't want to have to add too much over the top of the finishing powder. I'm going to use, this is a Dalton makeup puff here, but you can find these makeup puffs also on Amazon. And I am going to pat it in my hand. And let's see, I want to make sure I don't have concealer creasing too badly. And I'm going to now press that in to my face, and I'll show you like half the face. I always love to see the half the face transformation. So you can decide whether you like the glow or not. And personally, I prefer the or not. No, I like glow in a few little areas, you know, having been an oily girl or combination oily most of my life. Actually, I used to be super oily. I think I am scared of any extra oil or that look of dew on the skin. Okay, I had a lot more powder in that puff than I thought. So let's dust a little bit of that away. I'm just gonna use this big old fluffy brush here. Okay. All right, and then we will add our mascara. Let's do a little inner corner highlight though first. Ooh, got that powder flying through the air. Going back to the palette, I'm gonna use a combination of these two. Actually, I'm gonna start with the shimmer, and then I will go over the top of it with that matte shade and just blend that in with the Sigma E30. And this is my trick if you kind of feel like your shimmer gets out of control, just go over it with that matte cream shade and everything just kind of blends really well together. Okay, and then let's do, okay, let's see, how are we looking? We are gonna, you know, touch up our lips and everything, but before we get there, let's just evaluate whether we think we need a little bit. I think I need a little bit of bronzer. So this is a point where you go, okay, I could stand for a little more color on the cheeks. And where did my brush go? Okay, we'll use this one. This is the 104 from Alter Ego, and I'm gonna go to my Gucci bronzer today. I was debating between this and the Hung Van Gogh, I should say. But I feel like the Gucci is just a hint warmer. This is shade number 3. And with this red lip, definitely needed the warmth. Isn't that pretty? And then if you need more blush, you can always pull in a powder blush at this point. But I'm going to wait until we finish up the lips. Let's do our lashes next. And I'm debating. I think I am going to use a gray mascara on the lower lashes. That sounds a little crazy, but it's so fun. I used it with a kind of blue eyeshadow look and it was just perfect. So it is this mascara from Thrive. And what is the color? It's Whitney. And I shared this, in a video a while back, and I told you I was going to do a look with this. I want to do a kind of cool girl look. Not cold girl, cool girl. We'll do kind of like frosty lids, you know, but I'm going to save that maybe for January. So I'm going to start off with the Tarte Tubing Primer, and this is a new tube. I picked it up during the Sephora sale, and I was trying to use up the other open primers that I had in my drawer first, and it's nice to have a fresh tube of this. It is one of my favorites. So you're getting to see a lot of my favorites here, which is kind of fun. All right. And while that you don't want, I picked up a piece of fuzz. We want to get that off. You don't want to let your primer completely dry. That is a tip I want to share. A lot of people think you do, you don't. But you also don't want to go in when it's super wet with your mascara. Knocking things over here. So I'm going to go to the lower lash line first while that kind of just dries a little bit. And let's do this gray mascara and just see what we think. I think it's dark enough that it gives a little bit of some definition and coolness, but it's lighter as well. So it's just a little softer. So this is another tip. So you could do brown down here for sure. And I debated on that myself, but I thought, let's give you something different here. And since I'm wearing a gray sweater, why not? but this is another way to just keep the eyes a little softer and less dramatic with our bright red. And as you've been letting the red lipstick sit on your lips, it also kind of lets you know, okay, do I need to dial back the red? And I feel like I'm going to, but I'll show you how I do that in a second. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a moment. Make sure I don't get it all over, and then go in with my superhero. Again, opened up a fresh one of these about a couple weeks ago, and it's been nice. This has been a long time favorite, but this year, whew, I found some really good new ones. So make sure you stay tuned for the favorites coming up this year. But this is still one of my top 5 for sure. And with that primer, I just think, I mean, do you see how quickly that builds volume? And because we kept the liner really, really soft and close to the lash line, especially going in, it really makes your lashes stand out. So if you have shorter lashes, adding that brighter pop on your lids and just a real thin line of liner smudged into your lashes, that will help. Okay, I'm really, really trying my best not to get mascara all over my lids. Oh, it is a problem because I always like to get right close to the roots of the lashes, and I always end up with mascara on my lid. It just always happens. All right, we're looking pretty good. Now, if you were going out and you wanted this to be even extra glam, you could add some falsies or maybe a half strip of lashes out here. You could add a little bit of some, a little darker liner. So you could go in with a black liner if you wanted. But again, I want to keep this a little softer. So a soft red glam look. It's always funny when I go into these videos, I really usually don't know what I'm going to title the video. So sometimes talking through all those things helps me figure it out. But, you know, is this soft red? Is this soft glam? Is this Christmas makeup? It's all of the above. And, you know, we have Valentine's Day coming, so this could be Valentine's Day makeup. All right, let's go to the lips now. Okay, I'm going to remove my red lipstick. And this is a really helpful exercise because look at the stain that left behind. And let me tell you, my lips feel really nice and hydrated. So you don't even have to do a stain if you get a bright enough red, right? So this is, though, the key to getting a red lip to last. Even if you're not doing a lip stain or a matte liquid lipstick, you want to use something more hydrating, you're gonna do layers of red. So we did our first layer, and now I'm gonna go around the edge of my lips with MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot because I need to get a really nice sharp line around the edge of my lips. And I definitely do not want any feathering, but I have to say, I don't think that this lipstick is the feathering kind. So even though it was hydrating, it was not drifting. So that's amazing. Okay, I got a little bit of red lipstick left there, and it was turning my paint pot pink. We don't want that, right? We don't want pink around the edge of the lips. Okay, and then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna line the lips. So if you don't have issues with your lip liner or your lipstick bleeding, you could go right in with your lipstick and then add your lip liner, but I need the lip liner to help everything stay locked in. I also love to use a lip liner to perfect the color and to change the color. I've talked about that before. I do have, I have a couple of different shades here. Okay, so Gash from Urban Decay, I absolutely love. And you can see it's a muted red. So this has definitely a lot of brown in it. I also have, is it Venom? Venom, and then I have Hex. So this would add more plum tones, which I'm not going to do. But if you wanted more plum tones added to your lipstick, I have this one from Tilt, and this is from scratch. This is going to neutralize the red. So you can see that color right there. I might try that actually. Or if you'll want to keep it really nice and bright, you can go in with a coordinating lip liner. And what is this color? Is this, oh, infrared. And it is infrared. I mean, look at that color. It is a great match to that red lipstick. Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to go in first, because it's red lipstick. We are going to go ahead and powder the edge of the lips just for a little added insurance. Okay, let's go in with this from scratch Tilt lip liner, and I'm going to line the lips. And this is definitely a warm brown, but it's going to neutralize the red just a little bit, or as much as we want. So I'm going to go ahead and line, try and do this quickly because I can't talk while I'm doing it. And then, okay. Then I'm going to just kind of blend the edge of the lips just a little bit here. And my hubby just came home, and I usually like to warn him that I'm doing an uncut video because, you know, otherwise he might just make an appearance on here without knowing it. Some of you don't know, but he doesn't want to appear on camera. I've tried to get him to appear. He says he'll just be that voice in the background sometimes. Okay, so we have the brown. Now let's go back with our red lipstick, and we're oh, here it is. Okay, let's go back and we're gonna see how things look with just the two of these. I can't get over that formula. It's so nice. All right, now a red lip is definitely not one you want to do when you're in the car on your way somewhere, your hubby's driving. You really need to be able to take some time to perfect the edge of the lips and everything. So I'm going to take, I need a clean little brush here. I have this great little rougher brush here. What is this? The 23. And I'm just going to blend the line and that lipstick. And depending on how much you take that lip liner in, you can really create a gradient look if you want. Now, you also can have your MAC Soft Ochre paint pot on hand in case you get a little crazy outside the lip lines. But again, a red lip, if done properly, you're only gonna have to do this maybe once, and you get the proper framework done, and then you can just throw in your lipstick in your purse and touch it up as you need. But because we already did one blot, let me show you. Okay, so there is our bright red. I'm just gonna do a light blot. And now I'm gonna show you, well, one of my favorite lipsticks is Moroccan, Fresh Moroccan from MAC. If you've been around my channel, you will know this is one of my all-time favorite colors. Do you see? It's, again, it goes actually really well with this lip liner from Urban Decay. So this is one of my favorites, and I may actually pop this just right in the center. I did pull out a couple from Revlon. These were new last year, new colors last year. This is Uncut Ruby. And this is for those of you who want more of a reddish tone. Was that what I would say? No, it's actually a very neutral. I would say it has a little more pink than the one I'm wearing, and definitely more than this one. This one is, what is it? Wild Saffron. So I'll put those side by side so you can really see the difference. Warm red. This is more of a neutral red. And I would say the Fresh Moroccan from Urban Decay, because it has shimmer in it, it can be a little more of a cooler / neutral. And then if you want to just do berry, maybe red is too scary. Hey, I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it does. You could do this one from Dalton, which I love. This is the Peptide Plumping Lip Crayon. And what is the color of this one? C'est la vie. C'est la vie. Love it. So let's open one of these though. I want to try this I'm So Bordeaux from Tilt. Let's just check this one out. I'm really curious. And then the two other shades look beautiful as well. Let's check. Ooh, look at that. Okay. So if you get done and your red's a little scary, you can go in with a little deeper color around the edge. Let's just see what this does. That's really, really pretty mixed. Oh, that's a pretty color. Ooh, let's see what that looks like all by itself. Let me swatch it. Oh, that's really pretty. There's Fresh Moroccan. This is I'm So Bordeaux. Oh, that's really, really pretty. Okay, I feel like I need to just, my Cupid's bow got a little out of control here. Okay. All right, that's better. Okay, the final step that I am going to do, I've evaluated my cheek color and everything. I might do just a hint of some powder blush. So I recommend doing something a little more neutral. This one from YSL, this is number 6. Or you could do something like this. I also pulled out REM Beauty, this one, Jupiter Moon. Something like this that is more neutral. Let's go in. I know this looks light, but I feel like I can still get a little bit of color. Do you see just that hint? Because we don't want the red lip to walk into the room first, right? We want everything to look like it belongs. All right. Let me go do my hair. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I always feel like when I have to move my camera into the bathroom and then come back, that it never gets back in the exact position, but I think we're close. So here is the finished look with the hair done, the earrings in, and I feel like it makes much more sense. You know, get dressed, get your hair done, get your earrings in, and then you can evaluate and go, all right, does the red lip work, or do I need to dial it back even more? So I did add a little bit of the Fresh Moroccan in the center before I started filming, because in my bathroom light, it was a little extra bright in there. And I felt like, ooh, maybe I need to dial it back. So you can do that. So adding a shimmer lipstick, shimmer red, shimmer formula, that is going to dial it back a little bit. Also, you can go in with your eyeshadow palette. And I shared this when I was talking about lip stains and how to wear lip stains. You can go in with just a little bit of your highlighter, your face highlighter, or a little bit of an eyeshadow. And you can tap just a little bit of this in the center of your lip. And it is going to add shimmer, but it's also going to lighten things up a little bit if you want to. So I'll just show you that real quick. You can add as much or as little as you want. And it is just going to catch the light a little bit and add a little bit of kind of almost poutiness. And just kind of, I feel like it dials it back just a little bit. If you go in with the shade Gentle, that has a slight more silvery pink finish to it, and so that will give you a little more of a pink tone to your red lip. But I hope that you found this video fun and helpful. Thank you for coming along for these uncuts. Even if you're not interested in a red lip, you could definitely do all the rest of the makeup the same. Put in your favorite nude lipstick or pink lipstick or whatever. That is what I love about a look like this, is depending on what color of lipstick you want, you can make it work. So the only thing that I would change out if I were doing pink on the lips is, again, I would do more of a pink tone blush and maybe a hint of just a cooler tone through the crease. It doesn't even have to be pink. It doesn't even have to be kind from here, but you could do a combination of those two, or you could do maybe a cooler toned brown through there, and that will all mix and blend really well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. I can't wait to continue sharing new products, new techniques, new hairstyles, all kinds of good stuff in the new year. But before we get there, stay tuned. I will be having at least one, probably two more favorites of the year, favorite new products I've tested of the year. Speaking of which, I will pop up on the screen the video I just filmed featuring all of my favorite new hair products that I tested out in 2025. Thank you so much for being here. As always, check the description box down below for links and a list of everything that I used, including what's on my nails, and I'll see you next time. Bye.